Maximum screen brightness turned as a fresh dividing line separating smartphone manufacturers last year. Apple started off boldly declaring the iPhone 15 could produce 2000 nits of brightness, before Google raised the stakes with the 2400 nit Pixel 8 Pro. The Galaxy S24 Ultra came in at 2600 nits this year, before Google got 3000 with the Pixel 9 Pro. Apple stayed with 2000 nits on the iPhone 16 Pro meantime. Now, it seems Samsung may be following Google after all, despite an earlier rumor implying it wouldn't be progressing on this with the next Galaxy S25 Ultra. Although Android Authority has been trying to extract out a few extra morsels from leaked files from an in-testing handset, there have been so many Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra leaks that we already know what the look of the handset will be like. And the most interesting of these is that the S25 Ultra will supposedly be capable of hitting 3000 nits in high brightness mode, just like the Pixel 9 Pro. The piece really says lux rather than nits, but that is obviously a typo considering the figures involved. Although the ridiculous 4500 nits that OnePlus unveiled with the OnePlus 12 are still some distance off, it is rather beneficial for using the phone in bright, sunny surroundings. Another intriguing discovery from the leaks is that the S25 series will offer seamless updates following a successful Galaxy A55 debut. This is a nice-to-have function whereby the phone will download crucial firmware updates in the background before running them on reboot, therefore saving you a long period in which your phone is turned on but useless. It's not all good news though. It appears that the S25 Ultra won't enable Find My Device capabilities when switched off like the Pixel 9, as the site found a string proclaiming "Rogue Bluetooth Finder supported" equals false. That means that if a burglar steals your phone and then promptly shuts it off, you won't be able to track its travels in real time. Elsewhere, the released files corroborate a few more nice-to-have elements. The screen will remain the same 3120 by 1440 resolution as the S24 Ultra, for example, and the battery will maintain its 5000 mAh capacity too. Excitingly, Android Authority's digging seems to establish that the phone will utilize UFS 4.0 storage for quicker file transfer speeds. Another fascinating find from the leaks: following a successful introduction of the Galaxy S25, the S25 series will support seamless updates. This is a nice-to-have function where the phone will download crucial firmware updates in the background before applying them on reboot, saving you a lengthy period where your phone is switched on but unusable. Let me share more light. Elsewhere, the released files corroborate a few more nice-to-have elements. The screen will remain the same 3120 by 1440 resolution as the S24 Ultra, for example, and the battery will maintain its 5000 mAh capacity too. Excitingly, Android Authority's digging seems to establish that the phone will utilize UFS 4.0 storage for quicker file transfer speeds. Next, Samsung Galaxy S25 could get this massive AI update. Samsung has bet much on AI throughout 2024, and it should be no surprise to hear that there may be some substantial enhancements coming in the near future. A fresh rumor indicates that one such enhancement might see the Samsung Galaxy S25 minimize its dependency on the cloud and execute more AI processing locally on your device. This tidbit of information comes from Assemble Debug on X during a dive into Samsung app code. Judging from the excerpt they gave, it looks like the S25 series may start processing more things locally, starting with generative AI photo editing. As you can see here, where it states feature_gen_edit_on_device. There are a variety of benefits to executing this kind of processing locally, rather than in a cloud server. The most obvious is privacy, which might be quite crucial if you're editing private images. Since the images don't need to be transported to a cloud server for processing, it means the files can't be intercepted by bad actors en route or covertly saved on a Samsung server. In theory, the processing should be faster too, as everything stays on your phone. While transporting files to and from cloud servers doesn't take long, it's not instantaneous, so you wind up waiting longer for everything to finish. That's assuming there isn't a backlog that the server needs to clear, which will simply extend your wait time. On-device processing means you don't need an active internet connection to access AI features. So it doesn't matter if you've run out of data or stranded on an aircraft with no Wi-Fi, you're not cut off from AI. That, however, performing everything on device does mean that it's more taxing on your phone, and excessive editing may cause your battery life to drop slightly faster than it would with cloud processing. But the trade-off is probably worth it. The code assembly provided also seems to verify claims that the Galaxy S25 will exclusively operate on the Snapdragon 8 Elite CPU. The leaker states that there's no trace of hardware from Exynos or MediaTek when on-device AI is referred to. Instead, we simply see the SM8750, which is a model number for Snapdragon's newest flagship SoC, that corroborates prior claims that all S25 phones will run on Snapdragon processors. It's unclear if any other Galaxy AI functions may shift to on-device processing. But if this leak turns out to be correct, it doesn't exclude the prospect that further AI features could go down that way. It's worth mentioning that both Apple Intelligence and Google Gemini offer numerous on-device functionalities, including generative AI. However, only Apple enables generative AI-based image editing on device. At the very least, it's a decent start, but we'll have to wait and see what Samsung has to say when it debuts the Galaxy S25 in the new year. Now let's check how the S25 over the S22. So exactly how much better will the S25 be than the S22? Here are the biggest predicted upgrades. As you would anticipate when comparing a very old phone with an upcoming one, the only significant benefit the former has is pricing. When it premiered in 2022, the Samsung Galaxy S22 priced $799. You'd struggle to get one new now, but shop about, and you'll find pre-owned ones for as little as $350. The Samsung Galaxy S25, meanwhile, could be very costly. Best case scenario is that the starting price remains at $799. But with news of the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Elite adding a large markup, we're bracing ourselves for at least $899. Multiple reports imply that the Samsung Galaxy S25 is going to look an awful lot like the Galaxy S24, which itself was a great design improvement over the S22. Gone is the elevated space for the triple camera array, with the three lenses now smoothly emerging from the handset's back surface. It's a cleaner look altogether. But enthusiasts of smaller phones may not consider every update a great one. The S22 boasts a 6.1-inch panel, which creeped up to 6.2 inches in 2024 and is anticipated to rise again in 2025, with a 6.36-inch display suggested. We're still anticipating the OLED panel to be Full HD too, so things may look a touch less sharp when stretched over a wider canvas. This is where you'll truly feel the difference. On every single performance metric, the Galaxy S25 is projected to be a big upgrade on the S22. The most visible of these is the processor. The S22 uses the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, but the S25 will use the Snapdragon 8 Elite, and its benchmarks appear incredibly promising. While the S22 manages average scores of 1,438 and 3,449 in Geekbench 6, the Snapdragon 8 Elite reference processor managed 3,212 and 10,318 for us. GPU performance was also substantially enhanced, with the S22 managing 60 FEPS in the Wildlife Unlimited to the new chip's 150.9 FEPS. But a more efficient processor also leads to improved battery life, and we're anticipating the S25 to give significantly more than the 7 hours and 51 minutes the S22 achieved in our web surfing test. The S24 managed 13 hours and 28 minutes on this test, and we're confident that the S25 will do even better. The S25 is also set to include an extra 4 gigs RAM over the S22, increasing it to a total of 12 gigs. While this should contribute to better multitasking performance across the board, the major advantage is that it aids Galaxy AI, the package of artificial intelligence technologies that S22 owners had a taste of with the One UI 6.1 update. There are too many Galaxy AI features to go into here, but if you like the idea of artificial intelligence summarizing content, helping you write, editing photos, and translating phone conversations in real time, the S25 will perform far better and will probably bring some new tricks with Bixby integration. The Samsung Galaxy S22 witnessed substantial changes on its predecessor in terms of physical components. The 12 megapixels main sensor was replaced with a 50 megapixels number that let in a lot more light, and the phone also welcomed 3x optical zoom for the first time. Since then, Samsung has maintained things basically the same. On paper, the S25's camera specs, a 50 megapixels primary sensor, 12 megapixels ultra-wide and 10 megapixels telephoto lens with 3x optical zoom appear unaltered for the third year running. But the company's image processing has advanced by leaps and bounds, as you can see when you compare the S22's camera photos to the S24's. Add in the Galaxy AI generative AI photo editing elements, and you've definitely got enough reasons to upgrade there. Unlike the Ultra phones, the standard Galaxy S has been a story of tiny, iterative upgrades each year. But if you're switching from the 2022 model to the 2025 one, you'll earn 3 years worth of benefit in one go. From speed and cameras to battery life, the Galaxy S25 should be quite the boost for anyone still clinging onto their Galaxy S22. Now may well be the moment to make the leap unless you want to go all in on the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra instead. So stay tuned for further updates on the S25 series, and feel free to share your expectations for this exciting new device in the comments below. Then I will see you in my next video.